What's up, YouTube? We are back working on the consistency, working on being on time with these OC recaps. So let's do it. What episode is this? 6, I think. I believe we're on 6, 7, 6, I think. Whatever, it doesn't matter. This is a good episode. I think that they are still on a roll. They're doing good with keeping me engaged and entertained. So let's talk about it. So we open the show with Heather out shopping with Emily. Emily, stop sleeping in your makeup. That was my first note because that's absolutely disgusting. I don't care how drunk I get, how late I come home, my makeup always comes off. It has never seen a pillowcase, okay? So let's hope you don't make that a habit, because that's absolutely disgusting. And who wants to have eyeliner and foundation, lip gloss smudges all on their pillows? Girl. But that also explains why Shane be finding her eyelashes all around the house too, because she don't take them off, because she don't wash her face. Let's see. Heather brings up the dinner scene. So what we didn't see, a little clip that got left on the editing room floor, was Jen asking Emily, Emily, you should end the dinner on a positive note. Gina's dinner, by the way, where all the went down with Shannon versus Alexis. And Emily says, pay your bills. Again, lame, tired, trifling, we're over it. Find some new material. Okay, Eddie Murphy, like, we're not laughing with you. We're bored, please. So she's telling Heather, it's not about the money, it's about integrity. She calls her out about her Rolex, saying she's stupid and she needs to sell it. Who are you? I'm so sick of repeating myself every video. But for real, how are you more upset still about this situation than Gina? Gina stopped bringing this up 3 episodes ago, but you are still talking about it. Why? Because you have nothing else going on. So you're making other people's storylines your storyline. Got it. Clocked it. Cool. So she's saying in the confessional, she needs to hide her watch, or she needs to get rid of it so that she can get some money to pay some bills. Selling one piece of, do you consider watch jewelry, an item that's of high value that you own, just to pay off a couple of bill collectors? No. If I'm Jen, I'm not doing that either. Especially, she said it was a gift, and then she's trying to throw shade like, I asked her what time it was and she couldn't even tell me, so it don't work anyway. Girl, be quiet. You are so lame. And I used to like Emily. I thought she was just like the chill, down to earth one. But these past 2 seasons, she been working my nerves. So if I see her at BravoCon, I'm gonna have to tell her about herself, because I'm not feeling it. I'm not liking it. She's acting like this girl mama. She trying to blame the espresso martinis. No, you just wanted to be mean. And Jen is like, is it funny to y'all? Is it, y'all treating me like I'm less than y'all? Like, what's tea? And it's both. They think it's funny and they're trying to treat you like you less than. But that's okay, because when you do clownery, as Monique said, when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite. So I hope Emily remembers this when the viewership turns on her ass. I hope I can say that on YouTube. But when the viewership turns on her and they start dogging her ass out, I hope she remembers how she was acting and how she was just thinking that Jen's situation was so funny to her that she wanted to keep harping on it for 4, 5, 6 episodes. So we got the parallel scene. Well, we had parallel scenes this whole episode, by the way. With Tamara and Jen, they're at the beach. So yeah, they're talking about the situation basically, and then they cut to, well, Jen brings up that Gina came over with Shannon and talking about how Emily's changed now. So she's telling Tamara, oh yeah, Gina's thinking that now she don't know if Emily is in competition with you to see who could be the biggest bitch, but that's not how my friend used to act. So, you know, what's good? Because with me, you one way, but now that you hanging with Tamara, you turn into something else. So then we cut to another scene where Katie and Gina are at a boutique. They're shopping. They're talking about Heather some more about this whole paparazzi thing. Gina says that Heather's just being too sensitive about the subject, which I agree because, again, this is old from last season. Why are we still talking about this now? It's not even that interesting to keep going on for episode after episode after episode, but okay, whatever. Heather feels like Gina set her up to get called out. I also agree with that. I feel like if she knew before Sutton's holiday party, then okay, so she knew before Sutton's holiday party. I'm assuming this is before Katie got cast to be on the show. So when Katie brings it up to you, so I'm confused as to why was this even a thing? I need somebody to break it down and explain to me, why did Katie even go to text the guy to ask about it? That's my thing. Did she do that on her own because she watched the previous season and so she was trying to come up with something to bring onto the show? Or are they making it seem like Gina, like, was it a conversation between Gina and Katie's like, oh, I have paparazzi friends, like, I could find out if she did that, and Gina egged her on, like, oh, yeah, like, find out, you know, because we were talking about that, and we all think she did it, but she said no, if that makes sense. That's what I'm thinking, that it was like a discussion between them two, and then once her friend texted back and said yes, then it was just like, we could use this. So tell me if I'm right about that. But Shannon comes to meet up with Katie. I was gonna combine their names together. Katie and Gina. And I love her little platform shoes. Those were super cute. She brings up the lawsuit and how, you know, they're saying that she not only has to pay John the $75,000, but she has to pay interest and attorney fees, which is nuts. And if a judge grants that, that's crazy, because just because you show a canceled check or wire transfer or whatever, how is that judge to know that that wasn't a gift? How can you just claim that to be a loan if you don't have anything in writing, anything signed to say, hey, I'm giving this to my girlfriend. It's not for her to have, it's for her to borrow, and she needs to give it back. I don't get that. But and she makes Gina makes the comment of, wow, now you're involved with now Alexis is involved with 2 men that have sued you, which is nuts. Like, she got some bad juju going on with her. I would stay far away from her, which I'm sure she wants to do anyway. So Tamara's claiming to Jen that she goes, they're flip-flopping between these 3 scenes at once. So back to Tamara. she's claiming that she goes hard on Shannon because she cares about her. No, you don't. I said this in my last video already. That's not a friend. You using her business now against her because y'all fell out and talking about her, and now all of a sudden her drinking is such this big thing, and you know, her and John were toxic, and you know, just using all her flaws and all her past conversations to now build this case against her because she made this mistake. That makes you look like an a-hole. I'm just gonna say it plain as day, because I have girls that I'm not cool with no more, won't ever talk to again, and I still have never spilled their tea, you know, said anything, you know, necessarily negative about their character. You know, you might talk a little bit, you might throw little jabs or, you know, little BS stuff, but whatever we shared in confidence as friends, just because we're not friends no more, I'm not gonna go and air out your dirty laundry. But then again, I'm also not on a TV show, so I get it. But for me, there's no coming back from that. I don't give a damn. We filming a show, we getting money together or what. Some stuff is no coming back from. And she said on Watch What Happens Live that, I think it was like I forget if it was a viewer question or a poll question. I think it was a poll question of, you know, like, oh, do you think that they'll fix their friendship? And she's like, oh no, it's done for real this time. And you know what? It better be. Like I said last video, Shannon better not ever talk to you again. You could try to flip it, spin it, act like it's your doing, and you know, you don't want to be bothered with her no more. You are a shitty person, and Shannon better not forgive you. If she want to make fake amends and kind of high and by you for the sake of the show, if y'all are both gonna stay on it, that's fine. But she better not ever get cool with you again, because you a dirty dog, and I mean that. You a dirty dog for what you doing to her, embarrassing her on TV like this. For real, for real. All this talking about like you care about her well-being, and again, everybody got this commentary on, well, if it was me, and da-da. You don't know. And even so, even if, okay, you were so traumatized about the DUI, you never want to see a drink again in your life. You want to go the Gina route. You want to just, I'm done. Like, that scared the fuck out of me, and I'm done. That's your prerogative. But to sit here and tell her that, you know, because she chooses to have 2 or 3 drinks now, it doesn't seem like she's getting wasted anymore, or she at least dialed it back while at this point of filming, that's not enough for y'all? Okay, like, I would tell y'all to kiss my ass. For real, for real. So, anyways, my tangent is over. Gina invites Katie, Shannon, Emily, and Heather to La Quinta. But Katie can't go because she already agreed to go to Big Bear with Tamara, Jen, and Alexis to go to Tamara's house, because she has a house out there. Her and Eddie. So we fast forward. Everybody's prepping, loading up for their trips. Everybody's meeting up at whoever's house to get in the car so they can drive. Shane says that they can't get in his truck, and I looked it up because I was like, well, how long is the drive? Because I'm thinking it's like 3-4 hours. No, it's a 2.5 hour drive. So okay, could you not eat for 2.5 hours? I mean, obviously, if they had all went and grabbed lunch before they hit the road, or if she just told everybody, you know, come fed, because he don't want us eating in the truck. But she didn't give a damn, which I figured they would at least snack or something. And I found it interesting. So she pulls out the Twizzlers out of her purse to give to Gina, saying like, oh, well, I got something right now. But then when they go to Jack in the Box, they blur out everything. So I was confused on the, I was thinking it was gonna be more like a what am I thinking of? Like on like Real World, when they would cover all the logos with like tape, like black electrical tape and stuff, duct tape. I'm like, oh, okay, so you show the Twizzler brand, but you don't show the Jack in the Box brand, even though they say the name, we know they're there. I don't know, I just found just something I noticed and found interesting. Because I look at stuff like that. But they also, what was Emily was wearing? She was wearing that poppy sweatshirt in like episode 2 or 3 also. So I'm like, okay, they must have some kind of dealings with these companies. I don't know who owns Poppy or Twizzler, but I'm assuming that they have partnerships, brand deals with them, since they allow it to be shown. But again, a tangent. I don't like Alexis, but I like her car. Her blacked out Audi. It was like matte black and black rims. Really, really cute. I love Shannon's house on the outside. And I forgot that she cooks, because she used to cook a lot in the first few seasons when she was still with David. And they would host all their little parties and stuff. So when they showed her, doing the chili, I was like, oh yeah, Shannon does cook. So that's cool. Oh yeah, so I already said that they stopped at Jack in the Crack. That's what I call it. Because they do be good. And I want to know why Shannon got her tacos with no sauce though. Like, girl, the sauce is what makes the taco. Otherwise, it's just that weird mystery meat. And who wants that without the sauce, girl? Like, that's what makes it greasy and good. But if she likes it, I love it, I guess. The Big Bear truck. We see Alexis blabbing away. Blabbing away about John. And everybody just kind of looking at her, rolling their eyes like, girl, we don't care to hear about him for this whole car ride. And I would have been asleep on her. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So when they pulled up to Tamara's house, is that like a thing out there or something? Or is that just the previous owners, that weird brick red color that they had the house? Because I wasn't really a fan of it, because I was looking at her neighbor to the, well, it'd be her neighbor to the right, but the viewers left. And their house looked like a normal color. So I was like, oh, that was a choice that they painted that weird red. But the inside was pretty. She did a great remodeling job. Oh, and I love the onesies that she got for everybody. The bear onesies. Those were really cute. So now Elizabeth Vargas is home. Stunning. Stunning. Is it 8 million plus stunning? I don't know. I mean, for the area, perhaps. I don't know. I don't remember if they showed us exactly the square footage, but her renovation is amazing. I don't know what it looked like before. They didn't show us any before, but it looks great now. And I need that kitchen. That kitchen was top tier. Now, what the ladies did in that kitchen, which we're gonna get to in a couple scenes, insane. And I would have been pissed. But okay, so we start with the Big Bear girls. They go tubing. I feel like this is what I wrote down, that Alexis was cosplaying Vicky, like trying to be the loud, good time, fun girl, screaming and hollering, hooting and laughing. Oh, she hopping the inner tube. She go down first before everybody. They just looking like, okay, girl, like, I guess, like, just doing too much. I feel like trying to make sure she gets some camera time. The La Quinta girls, they're unpacking the truck, getting the grill ready, all that kind of stuff. Emily and Heather have clearly never grilled in their life because they were having a hard time. Gina, she copies Tamara, of course, typical housewives fashion. She gets them these little matching crew necks, pink crew necks that say girls trip. And then this is where the chaos ensues. So Heather picks up the damn shaker that they shaking up the espresso martinis in, and she's holding it weird. I rewound it like 4 times because I'm like, what did she? So she's half-ass gripping it, holding it. So she drops it. Boom. Espresso martini all over the rug. So of course Gina freaking out because the house is staged, just ready to go, to continue to be shown so it can get sold. So she's freaking out. Heather got to get the damn scrubbing thing. I don't know what she got, some Dawn, some vinegar, baking soda. I don't know what she did. So she's scrubbing the rug. Gina having a fit. Everybody laughing. So Heather's like, don't worry about it. I'm Cinderella. I got it. I'm gonna get it up. Okay, boom. So clearly they refill it, the shaker. She gives it to Emily. So she's like, I'm gonna just let Emily mix the drinks. Like, I ain't gonna touch it no more. Can't make this up. So Emily, so now I'm looking at her like, okay, she's holding it by the top. So, those things are like, what, steel, metal? They're cold because you're shaking it with ice normally. So then it's condensation. It gets very cold, wet on the outside. So she's just holding it, just willy-nilly by the top, like a bottleneck. Boom. Bottom falls off all over the floor. The tile floor splashes all over her cabinetry. I was like, baby, this is a mess. I'm like, so clearly nobody has ever taken bartending classes. They need to go to some, because you always see the bartenders, they make sure they hold it with both hands, or if they have a big enough hand and good grip, they hold it to make sure they're getting both the top and the cup and the top. So I was laughing. Everybody was laughing except Gina, because she was like, my commission check is getting cut to nothing because y'all tearing this house up and we only here for 24 hours. I was dying, especially when they put her little commission up on the screen with the lines through it, and then it got down to the bottom. It was like a $300 gift card. Because that's what it was giving. Like, girl, you not about to get no money because you're going to have to repair this kitchen in a second because they keep dropping stuff in here. So, by the way, I would have rather have been on the La Quinta trip, because the Big Bear girls, besides them going tubing earlier in the day, they didn't do nothing but just go to dinner. It was kind of, they trip was a little more boring overall. Conversation and everything included, they trip was more boring. So they go to dinner, the Big Bear girls. Lexus comes downstairs. So I was actually laughing because when she was like, oh, where the girls at? I want to ask them, should I put a sweater on over this? And they standing against the wall watching her. Like, girl, we right here in front of your face. Like, thirsty. If you slow down, then you won't be running around the house looking for us, and we standing right here. And Tamara's like, oh, maybe Johnny J can get her some dang LASIK because she obviously can't see. That was a good line. That was funny. She calls him. Alexis calls Johnny J. And here goes Tamara again, low blowing Shannon. Why are you bringing her up in your confessional? I don't know. You could have, you know what I'm saying? Some things you just ain't got to say, basically. So she's calling her a pain in the ass, and she's just saying like, oh, how did he hold on to her for so long? Like, girl, don't give Alexis any more ammo. She don't need it. And I also put that Alexis seems like that annoying friend that gotta call her man like every hour on the hour when the girls is hanging out. Because it's just like, ain't nobody else calling their man. Why did you feel the need to FaceTime him? Like, you on a girls trip, but okay, girl. Let's see. Emily and Shannon. Oh, back to the LaQuinta house. Emily and Shannon, they go outside. Now, Shannon, you was being messy because you did not have to bring up that conversation that Gina had about Emily. But obviously, seasoned veteran, moving storyline. You gotta, create conversation and chaos. Okay, whatever. So she brings it up. Emily's offended, of course. Gina says that that Emily's lodged up Tamara's ass. So now she's pissed. Emily's pissed. So she's like, "Oh great, I have another storyline I can leech onto because I got nothing going on this season." So she goes in the kitchen, folding her hands, standing, looking, pouting. I was like, girl, I said, now we acting like we in 5th grade and we can't use our words. And then everybody just looking at her like, is you good, sis? They're like, what the heck is wrong with you? And she, nothing's wrong. I'm fine. I was like, oh, God, you too old for this. This is a mess. So she finally decides when they go outside to sit down to eat, she's going to stop being childish and she's going to bring up Gina's comments. So, oh, why I'm so tired. Jesus. And then I got the nerve to be drinking wine. That's probably why. Let me take a sip. Okay, so she brings up Gina's comments. But then she retaliates and she says, well, you talking about me, yet I feel like you changed too. You doing sneaky snake stuff too. And Gina's like, what do you mean? And she said, well, you were so gung-ho about Katie coming into the group and how cool she was and this and that. And then boom, you dismissed her, real quick with the Heather situation. So Gina's pleading her case. Oh, it's not like that. I thought she was this and that. Again, I don't get why this is some whole big ordeal. But hopefully after this episode is squashed and we don't have to hear no more about this. Because Heather forgave her in the end. So let's just hope. But Heather's talking about how the rumors affected her life, which I was like, Heather, you're dragging it. I'm no Gina fan or stan by any means, but when she's right, she's right. And I'm thinking like, you comparing the whole CPS thing that Shannon said to Gina is in no way, shape, or form on the same level of somebody saying that you and your husband called the paparazzi on yourselves to get a picture of yourselves. So I'm just like, Heather, not too much. You really putting too much sauce on it. Talking about, well, my kids were affected too, and Max has anxiety, and people were asking questions. Who was asking questions? I really do not believe that high school kids, that there was enough of a fuss made online about that storyline that it was getting back to some high school kids for them to come and ask your kids, is this true about your parents? I just don't believe it. That's just me. So when she started with the crocodile tears, I was just like, Heather, I don't want to laugh at you, but you're acting right now because this is not that deep and you really need to chill out. But like I said, ultimately she forgives Gina. She's like, I won't forget, but I'll forgive you for now. Cool. Let me take another sip. So the Big Bear ladies, they leave dinner. They brought up the same thing with Heather and Gina at dinner. But like I said, it was just small talk conversation. It wasn't nothing mind-blowing to me. But again, I'm still not really understanding this whole timeline and like the events leading up to Katie getting on the show and bringing this on the show. So I need more clarification for that. So the Big Bear ladies, they go back to Tamara's. They're in the living room. They're joking about Jen joining OnlyFans and that she can make some foot content to make money. First of all, everybody on OnlyFans with feet content is not just bringing in the dough, so we could let that whole narrative go anyway. Secondly, this was like such a predictable, like, housewives contrived scene. Like, oh, let's do something silly and goofy, you know, whatever. So I was kind of like, okay, wrap the episode up now. This wasn't needed. But Tamara has Jen stick her feet in this apple pie, and then Tamara's licking it off her feet all nasty and sexual. Blech. Almost threw up in my mouth. I was with Katie on that. She was like, I'm about to throw up. And I'm like, girl, me too. Because the way Tamara be on her podcast acting like she's such a prude and she don't talk about sex with her and Eddie, for her to be doing all this on TV, it's like, girl, phony. But they bring up John Jansen again. Jen asks Alexis, like, you know, when is she gonna let this go and be done with it? Alexis says, oh, when Shannon stops the lies about him because his reputation is ruined and she's tired of him being abused. Who's abusing him? Who cares enough? Your man wants to be on TV. Your man wants to be in the limelight. As much as he tries to lie and act like he does not, he loves the attention. He loves the notoriety. He likes being talked about. And now that he's with you, he just wants to try to change that image and get looked at in a more positive way. But it's not going to happen because us viewers like Shannon. So he might as well give it up, Delicious. Like, it's not going down like that. So she's like, if Shannon's gonna keep lying, then, you know, he's gonna release these videos that he took of her the night of her DUI. And Jen was the only one that was talking with some sense in her confessional, at least. She didn't say it to her face, but she should have. And she's just like, you know, what is that gonna do to Shannon's family? Like, that's trifling as hell.